Who?
Mac Jones.
Man, what do you think of Mac Jones' week 2 performance?
Mac Jones' week 2 performance, I got to say, if there's one thing that I saw right off the bat, is someone had a conversation with him about his mechanics, because he looked really tight, really polished from the drop back to the follow through. I mean, and that was something that people were kind of concerned with, me especially, coming out of Alabama, being lackadaisical in a way because you've got a superstar O-line and superstar wide receivers is, well, maybe I can slack on my form a little bit. But when then in the NFL, when every second, every inch matters and you've got to be extremely efficient, that form comes into play. And we know Mac Jones is extremely accurate on his throws, big arm capability, pre-snap adjustments, going through the assignments. Like, that's another thing he was recognized for at Alabama. But when you look at week 2, the reads and the hesitations, again, look polished as always, and he looked fairly decent with that in week 1 also. But then you go and talk about his dropbacks and his delivery. Again, the way he positions himself in the pocket gives him that ability to step up and push the ball down the field. And I mean, if you ask me, the dude's throwing the football as well as a Trevor or a Justin Fields or even a Zach Wilson right now. Like, he's showing you he's got the talent. He can make some big throws. And I think once he starts to understand that scheme a little more, New England's going to have this guy making some big plays later on down the road. I mean, look at how the size benefited him in that big throw to N'Keal Harry. Yeah, it was incomplete, and unfortunately N'Keal hurt himself, but that was a big time play from Mac Jones. And then you got to consider, when New England picked him, we heard a lot of Brady comps, which get that out of here. We're never going to see another Brady. But if you talk about a manager, like you said, a lot, pre-snap adjuster, like you said, a guy who's really efficient in the pocket and won't lose you a game, we're talking about Mac Jones here. I got to say, stock up. He did fairly well for the Patriots in week 2.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely stock up for him. I mean, outside of all the murmurs about him supposed to be starting.
Oh, man.
He played very well. I mean, you saw him come out and orchestrate like 16 play drives.
Yeah.
That was the type of thing that I was telling you about.
He led a 90-yard drive.
Yeah.
Did he? Yeah.
Like 16 plays, like that is a killer. It has the other defense so gassed.
Yep.
If you can lead a 16-play drive, score a touchdown, and then have a defense like that to fall back on that's fresh, and they're like, okay, if that's what you're gonna do, we're gonna get you the ball back.
Yep.
So now they're fresh. You're getting 3 and outs on the other side, and you're keeping the ball. That's how games get lopsided really quick, and you don't understand. Like, they're not that much better than the team they're playing.
Right.
It's the style of football they're playing, and Mac Jones is absolutely living up to what those of us with realistic expectations thought that he should be. He is an excellent game manager.
Wesley, petty fam, Wentz blows. You just not figuring that out, brother?
Yeah, man, I've been telling you that for years.
We talked about that the first show I was on here. I said maybe they could go far, but that's if Wentz does something. Oh, man.
But I'd be remiss if we move on from Mac Jones without me talking about that one throw, because I'm getting sick of everybody talking about his arm strength.
Yeah.
He does not
address
have
the
that
crowd
yet.
fees.
Mac Jones needs to get in the weight room and do something with that right arm and increase that arm strength. I don't know what workouts it is that you do that increases your arm strength, but he looked like 18-year into NFL Drew Brees throwing that ball. Everybody's like, oh, did you see the velocity on it? Did you see the wind-up? He almost fell throwing the ball. He threw it so hard.
Yeah.
Like, it took everything in his life. And the ball, what was the pass, like 12 yards?
Right.
It wasn't that far.
Almost broke his tight end's fingers.
Yeah, it's like, why'd you wind up like that to throw the ball right there?
Right.
It's like, bruh, come on now. Is nobody else watching this?
Yep.
I can't be the only person that saw it. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.